I encourage you to turn in your copy of the Word of God to Luke chapter 5. And specifically today we're going to be looking at verses 33 through 39. Now, one of the things that you cannot fail to notice as you go through the Gospels is that Jesus is a storyteller. He uses metaphors, he uses allegories, he uses stories in order to explain the truth. Those of you who have been in the church for a while will know the definition of a parable. A parable is, of course, an earthly story with a heavenly meaning. Jesus uses parables in order to explain complicated theological truths, to point people towards truths using imagery that they understood and they knew. Now, obviously, he lived at a time when it was an agrarian culture. The vast majority of people strolling around in ancient Israel were not philosophers. They were not sculptors. They were, by and large, people who worked in some way in agriculture or simple industry like carpentry. The family that he was raised in was a carpenter's family, of course. So he uses images that people from an agrarian background would have understood immediately. Now, one of the things, obviously, that they did was they made wine. And wine involves the use of yeast. Yeast is either naturally occurring or inserted, is the means by which wine ferments. And that is what preserves wine. If you didn't ferment, it would go bad. They didn't have refrigeration or pasteurization and all of those things. Thomas Bramwell's famous grape juice, which we all were raised with, and unfortunately some of us had to endure as the element in the Lord's Supper for many years, that did not exist, obviously, in the time of Christ. New wine quickly began to either ferment or go bad or turn into vinegar. Those were the three choices that you had. But